Hello, assalamu alaikum. Good morning. Khushamdi ji ayanu. Goeiemorgen. Bakhair ragale washmale tunishum. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Well this morning on a very fine, pleasant, and I want to say a little sunny morning over here in Islamabad. I am Shasa Hashmi, your very own. You see me almost every other day as well on Well this morning at PTV World Studios. Now, here's the thing. I know for all of you viewers who are regularly watching me, you know I absolutely love winter mornings. But to be honest, the sun isn't that bad today. I mean, it is definitely adding a beautiful aura to the already beautiful Islamabad. From wherever you're watching, which is more than 46 countries in the world, I really hope I'm finding you in the best of your health. And I hope that all your loved ones and your family members are fine as well. Usually, I do start with a message, but this time I want to start with a story. And before that, let me just say that unfortunately, just because of a minor incident or a technicality, let's just say Shahzad Khan cannot make it here today. So it's just you and me today. So just grab your very healthy plate of breakfast and probably coffee. I had to take extra coffee because, like I already mentioned, my co-anchor is not here today. I have to do all the talking. So, well, I hope it works out for the both of us, which is you and me. Now, getting back to the story I wanted to talk about. You know, a lot of you people and a lot of you youngsters actually do find me on probably Instagram or Facebook messaging me on how I got here or asking me how to go about it, asking me for tips and whatnot. So I want to take you back in time, which is 3 years ago when I graduated from my bachelor's. And so here's a little premise of all this. I belong to a military background, and I think a lot of people will understand this. Sort of a strict environment at my place as well. And I personally, in my very close relations, had not seen women go to offices. Of course, like some distant ones, yes. But it was a sort of a accepted fact that women will be housewives, happily, of course. The option was always open for them, but they always chose to be housewives. Even my mother, for that matter. I absolutely love and respect her and, you know, especially admire her courage for doing that. But for me to sort of convince my dad to actually go out, because I was learning and studying journalism, to actually go out and practice journalism in the field, in a male-dominated society in Pakistan, the struggle was real, I tell you. But I don't know how it was sort of a miracle. My dad was really just so open to the idea. I think it was the times, probably we exist in better times now as compared to how our elder women had to sort of fight for, you know, to come out and work in the field. So luckily, well, I did talk to him. So he actually came to me and asked me, hey, your degree is about to end. So what do you want to do next? Like, do you want to keep studying? Do you want to work? What? And fingers crossed, I go up to him. I was like, Baba, there's one thing I want to talk about. And we're not really, you know, even open in our discussions. And I was like, please, you have to hear me out. And I tell him there's just maybe for a few months, I want to try something out. I really want to read news on TV. And he was like, is this your dream? And I told him, I don't know. I mean, for now, if you want to ask me for this year, maybe this is the dream for this year, right? So I am studying journalism. I will maybe, you know, go on to be an analyst or even host a TV show. But for right now, I want to do news. And being a military man, he definitely explains to me how well media houses work and everything. But he does have faith in me, and he has. I mean, he puts his confidence and courage and trust in me, which is why he knew I was going to do just amazing with his support. And he told me, you know what, PTV World or PTV for itself is going to be the best place for you. Eventually, things worked out, and this is how I am here. So I mean, for this matter, while yes, it does sound sort of a little easy, but to go through that, to convince the mentality that exists for so long in a society, it's hard. It is definitely hard. I'm sure there are days where my parents still think about, you know, me coming out in the workforce and in the field rather. They definitely think about the challenges I might have to face, but I think I owe it to their encouragement and I owe it to their support that I am here today. And now, of course, my husband's support as well, because he is just so open to whatever ideas I come up with. So if I haven't made it any clear, ladies and gentlemen, today, particularly today, well, you know me, I mean, I love and respect everyone who puts out a smile with the courage as well, but particularly today, we are going to be celebrating women in workplace. Today happens to be the National Day where we do observe, or rather celebrate the women who are working in Pakistan. And did you know this day is actually being celebrated ever since 1997? I mean, we know that women have been working in Pakistan, and especially when we talk about the media industry, because I belong from that, we will definitely get to the other avenues of it as well. I think for the ones who started it, for the ones who were the pioneers, it was a struggle, definitely. One struggle, of course, to be getting sort of that encouragement, or for permission from your family is one thing, but to have that conducive culture in the workplace where people are going to accept you for the gender that you have, and probably, I mean, look at you for not the gender that you have, but for the quality of work that you bring in. That was the real struggle, and hats off to all the women who probably for ever since Pakistan came into being, they have been in the working field and have been making a name for Pakistan. Do you know that more than 49%, I want to say 53-ish%, correct me if I'm wrong, through, of course, social media, we are women in Pakistan, right, around 53%. But if all of us, or I mean, all the capable ones were to come to work, 30% increase in GDP would be observed. Can you believe that? So how amazing would that be if women and men were, I mean, equally working, the working gender quota I'm talking about. But times are not that bad. As I started with, it's a good time for women to come out and work, to sort of feel safe. And this is what we are going to be talking about. And the person I have today in the studio to talk about this, I think she is so apt. She's so well spoken, because I was, of course, in conversation with her earlier as well, right before the show. And I think she's here to answer sort of all my questions and queries I have, or rather reservations as well. She's going to address them. She happens to be a human rights activist, none other than Ms. Maliha Hussain. Hello, assalamu alaikum, ma'am. Welcome to my show.
Thank you for inviting me.
And happy Working Women's Day to you.
Thank you.
I think it's a brilliant day, right, for you and me to be sitting here. And
Yes.
for you especially, because you have been working for, mashallah, quite some years now in making a name as well. So we celebrate you, ma'am, along with all the other women who are out there.
Loved your story, by the way.
Thank you so much.
Loved
Thank you
it.
so much.
Loved
While of course, we have to sort of make it compact, but because of the demographic and the societal and the cultural pressures, what one has to go through. So, but let's start on a positive note, though.
Yes,
This
I
day
like
back
that.
in '97, take me back there. How did this day? I mean, how was this officiated?
It started when 11 women working in one of the UN offices here in Islamabad decided to report a case of sexual harassment.
Okay.
They were being harassed by one person, all of them. In those days, there were about 100 men working in that office, and there were, I think, 16 women. And most of those women were being harassed by this one person. And 11 of them got together, and after a lot of discussions and trying to figure out how do we stop this, they reported their case on December 22nd, 1997.
Okay.
And they weren't very happy with the response of the head of the organization then.
No one would listen.
No, he said, you Pakistani women, he was a foreigner.
Okay.
He said, you should be used to this kind of behavior. You get beaten up at home and you leave the house and
Oh
you
my
get
God.
sexually harassed. So what if one of my officers treated you this way? What's the big deal? But they decided not to give up. They said, now that we've spoken out, we will continue fighting. We need to be treated with respect and dignity. They fought their case for 2 years,
Okay.
and they eventually won in 1999.
Okay.
And after they won, realizing all the problems, the difficulties that they went through in those last years when they were fighting the case, they said that we need to do something about this issue. It is such a prevalent issue in our society,
Yes.
not just Pakistan,
Everywhere.
around the world.
Yes.
And they said that it is an issue of human behavior, and human behavior can be changed, modified.
Definitely.
It's just helping our people realize that it is an issue that needs to be addressed, because there's a lot of acceptance for this issue in our society. People keep blaming women.
Of
They say, if you leave your home, of course you are going to be treated this way. Good women, demure women stay at home, which is not true.
Absolutely.
Because these things happen at home also.
And who are the people who are going to label us, right? We'll definitely get back to this particular story, but probably I forgot to mention earlier in the show as well. We're not just talking about women in media, like I mostly, because I belong to media. We're also talking about women in probably the banking sector, women in each and every government office, civil offices as well, even informal workers for that matter, women who work in the agrarian culture as well, women who go out to probably who actually take time out of their daily routines and their family routines and practices to go out, make a name of their own, add to the economy, and well, at least try to be financially independent. But now, ma'am, you have two books in front of you, and I really want you to
Yes.
talk about this particular one, which actually, sort of reads out the entire story of the 97 issue, which
Yes, it
finally
does.
led to the anti-sexual harassment legislation. Let us know
Yes, it
about that
does.
as well.
Yes, Dr. Fawzia Said, who was one of the 11 women and
Okay.
who, sort of led the group
So brave.
throughout, yes. And then she started the Alliance Against Sexual Harassment in 2000. Talked to like-minded people, both men, women, transgenders, in all sectors. Just a lot of people, literally thousands of people came together as a part of this movement,
Okay.
who said that we need to address this issue. We need laws, we need policies. And they were very successful in doing so. In 2010, we got 2 laws.
Yes.
In Pakistan, we have 2 laws to curb sexual harassment. And by the way, Pakistan was the first country in this region
Oh,
to have legislation to address this particular issue.
amazing, amazing.
So,
Thank God for that.
Yes, and after the laws were passed, she started on implementing the laws.
Okay.
Because unless and until people use the law, it's no use having a law if it's not implemented.
Definitely.
And after, spending a whole year of very rigorously having organizations institutionalize the mechanism that one of the special laws provides, she said, now that we have committees in place and the system in place, we need people to speak out and report their cases.
Right.
And then she said that, how can I ask women to speak out when I haven't done so yet? So that is when she wrote one of these books, the Working with Sharks.
Working with Sharks.
She
I love it. I love the
documented
title. Yes.
her case of
Can I
sexual
hold it up for the
harassment.
camera?
Please.
Yes. Okay.
So this is her way of speaking out. She talks about her own case of how she got sexually harassed while working there, a lot of details of what she had to face. And then we launched this book and we started a speak out campaign throughout the country, encouraging women and even men, because the law protects everybody. It's
anyone
for
who's
all
been harassed,
employees.
yes.
The special law is specifically for the formal work sector. It's important for organizations, for the managements to institutionalize the mechanism that the law provides,
All right.
inform everybody working there so that they speak out. They are supposed to have a standing inquiry committee in place
Right.
where cases of sexual harassment are reported. They conduct the inquiry according to the procedure and timeline given in the law, which is 30 days to conduct the inquiry, 7 days to implement. So it's not like a court.
Okay. Okay.
Their issues get resolved within 5 weeks.
Okay. That makes
And
sense.
thousands of organizations have complied with the law,
Okay.
and thousands of cases are being reported. A lot of people don't know about it because these cases don't come out in the media.
Okay. Okay.
And people tend to say that laws are made but they are not implemented, which is not true in this case. And we get so sick and tired of hearing people say that we decided to review the implementation in the last 10 years,
Okay.
because the laws were passed in 2010 and now
Yes.
it's 2020.
Yes.
So in March 2020, we reviewed 10 years of implementation and we documented it in this book.
Oh, brilliant.
It's called A Game Changer for Women.
I will definitely give it a read. It's by you, right?
Yes, just because I've been working on the implementation of this law, I thought I'd be the best person to document it.
Definitely. Definitely.
With the help of everybody who's been working on it and in all the sectors,
Right,
government
but Miss
departments. and all.
Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, I'm cutting you. Miss Maliha, you know what? I think it is, of course, kudos, hats off to that 11 women who sort of took the plunge, to actually
Yes.
finally speak out.
Right.
But I feel like probably it's more for my generation or anyone who has been using the internet lately.
Right.
It was the Me Too movement that gave more power to women who wanted to stay anonymous and report. Anonymity is one major factor, especially in our society, and I think, well, you will definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
So I was reading an account of a woman who works somewhere, of course, an institution I don't want to name in interior Sindh. And she said that she would really like to report her cases, but she can't because the police, the workforce, she goes to the police station or, goes to the concerned people, and she wants a female to be there to listen to her. She's not comfortable, first of all, talking to men about that matter. Even if she does, men are not going to empathize or understand. Now, 10% of the police workforce is supposed to be women, and it's not. Let's just face that.
Right.
Hardly 1%, maybe less in Balochistan and Sindh for that matter. Do you think it will make a change if women were in that position to be hearing and to be actually, implementing and making the decisions?
I always look at both sides of it, what people believe and think and even experience a lot. But then, we have to realize that there are a lot of good men out there too.
Definitely.
And there are
we are
women
not discarding their effort. We need to tackle, like you said, this is a behavioral conduct that men
Yes,
and
it
women can
is.
alter. We're talking about those who just do not do anything about it.
And there are a lot of women who are very strong patriarchs and who don't help women out in these situations. So it's both men and women who need to realize that it is a very serious issue. And women want to stay anonymous not because there's a problem with what they are there is a problem with what they are experiencing, but why shouldn't they speak out? Because they are afraid of being judged and stigmatized by us, by the society.
True.
So we all need to think about this and see, why do we always blame women for being sexually harassed or for facing any of these issues? Even when they get raped, we blame them.
Of course.
What was she
Victim
doing
blaming
out so late at night? Well, if she needs to go out for whatever reason, why shouldn't she? She is living in
not
the
take the
Islamic
other road?
Republic of Pakistan.
Absolutely.
So she needs to be protected. And I think it's very important to shift our focus from those who are victimized to those who behave inappropriately,
I agree with you 100%.
whether they are sexual harassers or rapists.
Definitely.
We need to focus our attention towards them so that we make sure that they don't repeat this behavior.
Absolutely.
So this is something we all need to work on as a society, men and women.
Men and women, definitely, I agree with you. But ladies and gentlemen, like we have been talking about, there are two laws that do protect you from any sort of harassment, especially sexual harassment at workplace, be it men or women. Do look it up and do find out your particular rights. Do find out what you can do if you are feeling uncomfortable or you do feel harassed. Right now, we're going to share something with you. Do take a look at it, and when you come back, we will definitely continue the discussion. I think this was like a major nostalgic trip down the lane is for you, right, ma'am? Do you want to let us know? Of course, she was narrating the entire stories and pictures to me during this, but for you guys, I want you guys to listen. So tell me something about the video that strikes you the most.
Boy, these are just glimpses of what happened in the last 10 years. And when I was, or some of us were pulling these pictures together, we just would get lost in each and every event, and all the meetings that we had with different people and all the ombudspersons that were appointed, who work on the implementation of this law, and people, anyone working in the formal sector can go to them with their cases. So this is what my life has been the last 10.5 years.
And thanks to you for making it, I really want to say it, thanks for you for making it, easier for people like me and girls like me, or, women who aspire to do something, to come out and actually have that environment to do it.
Right.
Because like you said, again, talking back in 97, things were so widely accepted, and I think at most levels they still are, but it's way better than it was back then. Things are so widely accepted. But ma'am, when we do talk about workplaces, it's not just formal office environments.
Right.
There's informal workplaces as well. And a majority of the women belonging to downtrodden segments or probably rural areas work in the informal sectors.
Yes,
they are
do.
recognized as working women now.
Right.
The issues that they face, that is just something else. Let's talk about them. Not the issues particularly, but the women. What do you think, how are they contributing to the society? And do you think that maybe they're not financially independent, maybe they are, of course, but do you think that they will be able to probably, reinstate a better idea of acceptance in the next generations?
Work is being done everywhere. Our women are very brave.
Yes.
I'd like to mention another book, I don't have it with me, On Their Own Terms. Another book written by Dr. Fawzia Saeed, and she has documented 4 movements, women's movements in Pakistan.
All right.
And 3 out of the 4 started in rural areas. So women know that they have rights, and women, a lot of them, I wouldn't say 100%, but a lot of women are very strong. They are fighting for their rights. They have been fighting for their rights.
Right.
They might not know how to speak English. They might not know how to write books.
And that's no measure.
But of course not.
Yeah.
But in their own capacities, in their own areas, they bring people together, they bring women together, and they fight for their rights. And they have been, these 4 movements that are documented are successful movements.
Brilliant.
Like, the health workers movement, they worked with the Supreme Court of Pakistan to get their rights. ASHA, the Alliance Against Sexual Harassment, they worked with the parliamentarians to get the laws passed. The fishermen, or the fisher women working in south of Sindh and Balochistan, they have their own movement, and they were very successful. So women are working. We just need to, as a society, both men and women, we need to support them in their struggles.
I agree.
But I would just like to make a point about one of the special laws. You said that it's difficult for women to go to the police. One of the 2 laws that were passed, which is a special law, they don't need to go to the police to use that law. That is one of the most beautiful things about this law.
All right.
This law asks organizations to institutionalize a mechanism provided in the law so that women or even men can go to their committees.
Okay.
And their cases are heard and resolved in confidentiality within the organization without going out anywhere.
And so I think that does make more sense as well. But ma'am, now since we're really short on time, we have to wrap up the segment. I want you to wrap on the note, or rather sort of, give us an insight on how it has been, generally speaking, for women, for working women during this pandemic.
Okay.
Things are on a 180 degrees, on a shift, right? Everything is so upside down.
It took us a while to figure out what to do and how to do it, and do we just sit at home? But, a lot of us have been able to figure out how to work in this pandemic.
Yes.
Yes, a lot of people are struggling also, both men and women and transgenders.
Absolutely.
A lot of people have been laid off, but I have realized that it has made my life very easy.
Okay.
I work on implementing this law throughout the country. I don't need to travel anymore.
Okay.
I can do all my meetings, all my trainings, even 2 to 3 day trainings online.
One would think, why didn't we think of this before?
I know. We are saving a lot of time.
Definitely.
Money. working from the comfort of your home, taking care of, being around my parents. I conduct a training, and, in my 15-minute break, I run, ask my father and my mother how they are doing, and then
That's
I
so
come
sweet.
back and go back to my training.
And you must feel so satisfied as well, right? The
Absolutely.
paranoia that must engulf you while you're working at office as well.
Yes.
But I think, yes, it's been a good time, and I think it's because of women like you, women of substance, who actually took a stand to make it easy for other women out there in the workplace as well.
We constantly keep working at it.
I know,
Yes.
which is why it's been relatively, yes, of course, easier for us as well. But thank you so much, Miss Malia, for being here. And if you don't mind, I will request for you to give me these books, because I would love to read them.
I brought both of them for you.
Thank you so much. It means a lot. And you know what, just to close on this note as well, right before the show, when Miss Malia and I were discussing how it's been during the pandemic for working women, I think Pakistan is definitely a collectivistic culture, right? And women of Pakistan who do even go to work, they are family oriented. And like you said, I mean, when you are at work, your mind is somewhere, of course, if you're worried about what is going on at home. So this pandemic has sort of eased that. While, yes, the working hours may have been stretched to probably 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. for that matter, but I think having the flexibility or having some room to actually add on your personal work during your work hours, I think it's been relaxing for a lot of people out there, not just women, for men as well. So let's end this on a positive note. I am really happy, first of all, to be a woman, to be on the State Channel, speaking on this particular day. A very, very happy Working Women Day to everyone in Pakistan, especially the women who are in workplaces right now. Ladies and gentlemen, if you do stay tuned, I'm right now heading to a short break, but when we come back, we will still be discussing people of substance, people that are actually making a good name for Pakistan. Stay tuned. Good morning.
Passion for polo will be the highest on the world's highest polo ground. Shandur invites visitors to experience a traditional polo tournament between the teams of Chitral and Gilgit. The tournament is held on Shandur Pass, the highest polo ground in the world, at 3,700 meters above sea level. The first time a polo tournament took place on the Shandur Pass was in 1936. It is a place unique and exotic in itself, surrounded by some of the most spectacular mountain scenery in the world. The event marks the annual rivalry between the teams of Chitral and Gilgit. The polo tournament has some added attractions for the visitors: trout fishing at the nearby streams and lakes, and a festival of folk dances and music of northern Pakistan. The event in itself offers a fascinating insight into the lifestyle of the people of this region. Their culture and indigenous customs are a delight to behold for the visitors. Crystal clear lakes, snow-covered mountains, alpine flowers, and vast stretches of green grass are added attractions. Fairs
Welcome back to Well This Morning. I am your very own Shiza Hashmi, and today, like almost every other day, we are really discussing something that matters, and that is, of course, very pertinent to changing the mindset of society as well. But in the first segment, if you were watching, if not, I'm just going to give you a quick review. So today, we are definitely observing the National Women in Workplace Day. We were respecting and rather celebrating all the women, Pakistani women in workplace, and then talking about laws that protect them from any sort of discomfort or harassment for that matter. But you know what, when we talk about workplace and, well, generating economy for the country, yes, of course, men and women need to go together hand in hand. But one particular segment of Pakistani community that is definitely making a lot for the country is the overseas Pakistanis. And I think that this should sort of be a permanent segment on my show as well, because we love to have people on the show who are doing something great for the country. And well, you know, especially who go out to learn the better and, you know, be exposed to better things and then bring that back to the country. This is what I will be talking about in this segment, because my team actually, you know, came across a person who is doing something for more than about 13, 14 years now for Pakistan, and something substantial. While definitely, yes, we do talk about, you know, NGOs every other day. We talk about philanthropy every other day. We talk about how people are contributing to developing or building a better community and society. But this particular person, I think what he is doing is a massive and a long-term change that we're going to eventually see in Pakistan as well. What it is, I will definitely leave that up to him. Trust me, he explains it way better than I do. He happens to be the chairman and the founder of DICE Foundation, none other than Dr. Khurshid Qureshi. Hello, assalamu alaikum, sir. Welcome to my show. So, sir, it's people like you, because you have been an overseas Pakistani as well, that this year, can you believe that it was the largest recorded, you know, foreign remittances collected through overseas Pakistanis, which was around $23.1 billion. It's amazing if we keep going on that pace as well. Yeah. Now, let's talk about DICE itself. I understand what it does, but do let me know how DICE is making a change for Pakistan.
Yeah.
Let my viewers know, I mean.
Okay. See, DICE stands for Distinguished Innovation, Collaboration and Entrepreneurship.
Okay.
We started our movement, I would say, in 2007.
Okay.
Idea is to create a culture of innovation, entrepreneurship, and indigenous product development culture in Pakistan. What DICE really wants, that Pakistan should make everything on their own.
I wish so.
That's the bottom line.
Right.
We should come out of this import syndrome. We should increase our export. We should create products, every product in Pakistan for our local market as well as for the exports. Brilliant. So that is the bottom line which we are planning on doing. So that requires. We started this program in 2007. Yes. We wanted to change the culture in our educational institutions so that we bring an innovation culture. We started many platforms. We have 7 platforms right now in automotive, health, agriculture, textile.
I will ask you the sectors that you identified,
yes.
You know, we need to work on. But let me know about your team. What kind of people comprise of the DICE Foundation?
Yes. So this DICE is obviously run by expatriate professionals. We are based in Michigan, but now DICE, we also have a chapter in UK.
Oh, brilliant.
So we have like medical professional people, we have neurosurgeons, cardiologists.
Amazing.
We have engineers, we have artists, we have people from agriculture, textile. We are actually providing a platform for expatriates all around the world to help Pakistan in a very focused and strategic manner.
So they will be bringing their expertise back to the country.
Back to the country.
Perfect.
And while they don't have to move back to the Pakistan to help Pakistan. That's what the whole idea is. We are providing that platform for them.
All right. Now I want you to discuss in detail, like you already were about to. Sorry, I was cutting you.
That's okay.
But the sectors that you have identified Pakistan needs to work on, where you said that we need to, you know, create and produce our own. Now, just a small story, and I always say this on TV. I've at least said this 5 times, but I'll tell it to you one more time again. So in a small cafe in Amsterdam, so, you know, I'm just sitting having pancakes, and someone serves me the sauces and the salt. And it's pink Himalayan salt. It's such a cute bottle. It says made in Pakistan, from Pakistan.
Wow, that makes you
proud.
proud.
My God, my heart melts. I mean, I'm literally taking pictures and sending it to everyone. I feel so proud. Now, these are the minor things that create name, of course, and make you feel so good about
Exactly,
it, right?
exactly.
So I wish that we would have like probably different kind of cheeses or cheese factories in Pakistan, because I know we're an agrarian society.
Exactly.
What are some of the things that you identified?
Yeah, first of all, one thing which I would like to say is like when I close my eyes, I always dream of Pakistan as the most technologically developed country
Yes.
in my lifetime.
Okay.
So that is our objective.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. So that's why we are going at a more aggressive pace right now. So sectors, I mean, obviously we need to excel in all the sectors. We need to excel in automotive. We need to excel in textile, agriculture. We need to do many things. So I was talking about, we have created these innovation platforms where we have these large scale innovation events where universities, students, masters, PhD students, they bring their very innovative ideas to those platforms. We have a health platform which is run by Dow University right now,
Wow.
energy platform by ND University, textile by NT University, NTU. So what they are doing is they are actually playing a role of big brother.
Okay.
So they are bringing all the innovations. We have innovation events like a health event which happens in Expo Center Karachi,
Okay.
where you would see 200 or so innovations. We will have maybe 50, 60 CEOs from the industry,
Got it.
pharmaceutical companies, medical device companies. So DICE is connecting and try to create this ecosystem
Okay.
so that we can create this culture of innovation. But more recently, what I really would like to talk about is that we
Yes.
started an initiative called National Innovation Basket.
All
if you allow
right.
me. And that is a very pragmatic program. Under National Innovation, the whole idea of National Innovation Basket is actually, if I like to explain a little bit more.
Please
so
do.
there's something called National Innovation System.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So Korea has its own national innovation system. I mean, China had its own national innovation system. USA, Pakistan doesn't seem to have that national innovation development system.
All right.
Okay. And National Innovation Basket is part of that innovation development system. So what we are trying to say that the Pakistan government, let me tell you one thing. First of all, government, I mean, we are a poor country.
Yeah.
Okay, so we should not expect, first of all, everything to be done by the government.
Of course.
Okay,
of
we
course.
cannot.
Thank you for saying that.
No, I mean it, because I mean, I think, and this is the message for all the expatriates across the world, we need to pay our dues. Okay, Pakistan has done a lot for us.
Yes.
Okay, so we need to pay our dues. We should not always expect government to do it, because government is doing certain large projects like dams, and they are making infrastructure. I mean, all of those things, those are very critical.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm so happy to see that the dams are being made. So our energy costs will reduce in 6-7 years.
Yeah.
That will be so in National Innovation Basket, what we are saying is that we need to identify projects which will take Pakistan, which will make Pakistan economically very strong, okay, and which set ourselves, because I personally think that is a matter of national security.
Absolutely.
As we need Air Force, we need military, we need Navy, we also need a strong national innovation system, so
I
that
agree
we
with you.
can continuously create those products. Just look at West. I mean, that's how they have done it.
Right.
I
And
mean,
so, sorry to cut you over here, but I think it's I want to say brilliant, but also intellectual minds like you who are sort of, taking a stand about it. But also credits due where it's due. I think in my lifetime, and ever since I started understanding things better, I think I really want to say hats off to Fawad Chaudhry Saab as well, who has been running the ministry greatly for science and technology. And I think he realizes, like you said, that we have to be at par with all the other nations in the world. Rather, I mean, instead of the fact that we are a developing country, to be at par, we need to, up our game in terms of science and technology. Yes. Now he's on to developing some major science and tech centers, and even tech valleys for that matter, which is a brilliant thing, to bring together all the practitioners for that matter. But now about the National Innovation Basket that you're talking about, it actually has a lot of sub-projects as well,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Do mention and do sort of tell me the details of what that caters to.
Yes, I will. So first of all, Fawad Chaudhry Saab, I think one of the greatest initiatives is we looked at the ventilators, isn't it? So there is one positive thing, positive aspect of this COVID-19.
And now stents are
thing.
going to be made locally as well.
Exactly. So at least
it
it created an awareness that a lot of things can be created in Pakistan. So in National Innovation Basket, as we were talking about, so it's an initiative.
Yes.
So we have mega projects. We have set up a threshold of $500 million impact of each project after 5 years. So after 5 years, there should be, when it goes in steady state, it should reach to an impact of $500 million economic impact in terms of export increase, import substitution, or GDP and job creation.
And is the goal realizable?
It's a very definitely realizable.
Okay.
So that's why we are very careful in selecting those projects.
Got it.
So we have 4 projects right now, and then many are there in the pipeline. One of the projects is Rinstra.
Yes.
So it's a difficult name. Rinstra, RINSTRA.
Yes,
Rinstra.
Rinstra.
So Rinstra is being launched right now.
What does it do?
It's a social media platform. It's a digital media platform for Pakistan.
Okay.
Pakistan is a huge country,
Yeah.
and we don't have our digital assets.
So much untapped potential in so many different avenues.
So Rinstra, you can think of YouTube, Netflix, and many other modules, TikTok,
In
all
just one.
together in one application.
Oh, I love it.
And that is Pakistan's own.
Love it. Absolutely.
That's
love it.
Pakistan's own. So Rinstra Technologies, we incubated this Rinstra under DICE.
Okay.
It's an initiative of DICE Creative Art and Media Platform, which we started 3 years ago, because we wanted to make creative art and media as economic pillar of Pakistan.
Right.
So, and Rinstra is one of the big projects which is coming
But
out
sir,
of that.
a question is coming to my mind, which I'm not really sure if I should be asking or not, but to my
Please go
understanding, I
ahead.
really
Yeah.
have to. So when you say that Rinstra is going to sort of, incorporate all these apps or platforms in one, it is really convenient, yes, I'd love to sign up for it. But does that mean it is also going to limit my access to things? Like, do you remember a few years ago, YouTube was, well, banned, yes, but then when it came back, a major portion of it was banned still for Pakistani audiences. Does that mean there will be limit to accessibility?
I don't think so, because I think people are still free to go to YouTube.
Yeah.
But at least we will have our own platform,
Right.
where you can actually put your own content. You can do your vlogs. You can
Perfect.
put your entertainment content there. We have not even launched it yet. Actually, we are speaking right now, and we
Okay.
already have 22,000 registered users.
Amazing, that's
Right
great.
now, at this
That's
point,
great.
and most of them are content creators.
Okay,
So
lovely.
you will feel proud when you go in. Let's say if you go to maybe out in Europe or America, and you see people using Rinstra
I
to
will be really
watch
proud.
Pakistani content. Won't you be proud?
I'll be so
of it?
proud, absolutely.
Exactly. So Rinstra is one of the projects.
Okay.
I think it will bring a big change in Pakistan.
Yeah.
So that is one. Then other project which we are doing is electric vehicle.
Oh, brilliant.
That is about 40% of our design is almost complete
Okay.
for the project. And because this is the time, because if you really look at it, when we talk of Pakistan's own car, we do not have our own car.
We just assemble.
We only manufacture and
hardly
assemble.
yes.
It hardly creates some manufacturing jobs and know-how in Pakistan,
Okay.
but we do not have our own intellectual property.
All right.
Car. Okay, and that is an industry which is a backbone of any nation.
Yeah, true.
Okay, so that definitely will give $500 million is nothing. We'll do much bigger than that.
Of course,
So that is another big project which is going on, and I think that will definitely bring Pakistan. 40% is done. We are planning to launch it.
So
in
we're
2-3
designing and manufacturing locally.
They will design, develop the capability
Yes.
as well as manufacture. We have all the phased plan in place, inshallah, and obviously will with the support of private sector as well as the government. Other project which we have is the battery.
Okay.
So battery design and development, that capability we much want to develop in Pakistan. Okay, and we have discussions and meetings and plans being worked out right now with many education institutions. And I can at some stage I can provide more details about that.
Yes.
And the fourth one project is a farmer portal.
So
Truly this is
important.
near and dear to my heart.
Yes.
Because 70% of our population is farmers.
Yeah.
And if we improve the economic condition of our farmers,
Absolutely.
then I think the economic cycle will start.
Definitely.
Because they will, with additional purchasing power, they will buy motorcycle, they will watch movies, they will buy clothes and everything.
And generally have a better quality of life, right?
Exactly. So we are focusing on farmer, that how can I, especially small farmer, 2 acre to 5 acre and bigger farmers too, but smaller farmers who get everything expensive. They don't have access to good seeds, expensive seeds, pesticides,
Right.
and all of those things.
Brilliant.
So that is another big
So
project.
you will be making available for them the products that they can use in producing the yield for the entire country as well, and technology too, right?
Actually, technology. So we are trying to create a knowledge-based system. So where we will actually do a live monitoring
Okay.
and provide them the weather information. A lot of these things are there,
Yeah.
but you need to put them in a proper manner and
Absolutely.
give farmer access to all that information, because the climate, especially the climate change, is happening.
Yeah.
And
it's not
small
reversible,
farmers,
not
they sometimes they don't know about all that information.
I
So
think that's going to be very beneficial and
I
fruitful.
think it's going to be very, very beneficial.
Yes,
and then we have many
definitely.
other projects in pipeline. We counterfeit medicine and other things in other areas, in textile, value addition projects.
And
which
this
we will
all
be
comes
doing.
under the DICE Foundation,
Under
right?
DICE Foundation, under the initiative of National Innovation Basket.
Amazing, amazing. Dr. Khushid, you are amazing, and you have been, whatever you brought to the show today, it is really inspiration, especially for me, to learn, yes. And I really hope this did deliver the message that we want to the Pakistani audience out there. Thank you so much for being here, gracing my
Thank
show,
you, Ji.
ladies and
Thank you very
gentlemen.
much.
I
Thanks
really
for having
hope.
me.
It was my pleasure, absolutely. I really hope that you took something away from this. I would love for my viewers especially, or for any one of you out there watching right now, to probably come up with an idea to locally manufacture what you want to, rather than buying from outside. So to do my contribution in this, what I want you to do is, if you know of a local business, or if you own a local business that I can channel in my show, probably handicrafts, arty crafts for that matter, I would love to please reach out to me for that. And you can do that by writing to me on my Facebook page with the name of Well This Morning. On Twitter, we are with the name of Well This Morning without a G. On YouTube, if you have missed the shows, you can watch with the name of Well This Morning, of course, on the PTV World channel. And the repeat of this one will be aired tonight at 5 past midnight. So till the next time.